Besides that, obviously we collect this ad valorem on every import of rough, which helps with promoting diamonds, being a very active part of Natural Diamond Council. And Natural Diamond Council has done a phenomenal job of marketing diamonds, I would say, last year and this year, a total new campaign. And they're ensuring that the natural diamond dream stays relevant to the millennials. And Council is playing a very active role with them on this front. The trade had a large challenge on input credit on GST. Consolidated, it was more than a few hundred crores that the trade has an input credit which they were not able to avail due to the high charges on certification and exports being GST free. So one of the things that we did is again getting the trade together and recommending to the government to make the GST on diamonds to 1.5 plus from 0.25, and this has really helped the trade in utilizing their capital which was blocked, and it will ensure that they become revenue neutral in the long term. So that's one of the other initiatives which GJEPC was very instrumental in doing. On the gold front, several things happened in the last 2 years. So I'll elaborate a little bit on all of them. One is hallmarking became mandatory in our country. So hallmarking is mandatory in countries like China, in many countries across the world. And one of the things which hallmarking has done in countries abroad, and now we even have our domestic experience, is it increases consumer confidence. And as more and more parts of the country are becoming mandatory, more hallmarking centers are being opened country in every district, and every retailer is advertising, promoting it. What has happened is the consumer confidence, especially in the millennials, has gone up, and we are seeing a huge boost happening in the everyday wear jewelry, especially on the millennials. Now, since mandatory hallmarking happened, the millennials have more confidence. We thought to amplify that and to ensure that the gold category, plain gold category, stays relevant in the years to come. We did this You Are Gold campaign with the World Gold Council, and I must say that the initial campaign which has been put together by WGC, Som and his entire wonderful team, has been very effective. And as we sustain and build on this campaign in the next few years to come, I'm sure that gold will continue to be a large category and not peter off as it has happened in several developed markets across the world. And that's another reason why Council really took this up in a very strong way, especially since hallmarking happened. Besides that, we've revamped the gold monetization scheme. One of the we have large reserves of gold lying in our country since many years, since probably a couple of thousand years, and an effective GMS scheme will make sure that our dependency on imports reduce, and we will have more gold being unlocked from our vaults, which could be reused in jewelry and could fulfill the wedding and investment demand in the country. As Council, we also have been working very closely with the Natural Diamond Council, David Kelly, Richa and her entire team in India and the US. As a lot of our members are the largest site holders, I would say, globally, and we do these monthly diamond review meetings. We get a lot of input from our diamandaires on what could be done to make the campaign more effective in US, China and India, which are the main markets for diamonds. And we are very happy to say that we work as partners with the NDC team in ensuring that the money spent is used effectively and ensures that natural diamonds stay relevant in the many years to come. Prime Minister's vision has been to make India's export $1 trillion. Gems and jewelry is a very integral and important part of this export basket. We are at $40 billion, and there is no reason why we can't be $70-80 billion in the next 3 to 5 years. But to achieve that goal, it is very important that our category gets preferential treatment, especially when India is signing FTAs with many countries, as our Commerce Ministry has taken that up on a very war footing under our very dynamic Minister, Piyush Goyal ji. And we are lucky that we were also part of many of the discussions which happened with the UAE and Australia. CEPA agreement got signed, the Australia FTA got signed, UK and EU is on the way, and we are in negotiation with Canada and US. These FTAs are really going to help our exporter get preferential access compared to China or Thailand or Italy or Turkey, most of our main competitors, and will ensure that our export keep on growing at a high double-digit rate. One of the sectors which has, again in this last 2 years, which has jumped in a very high double digit from 100 million to a couple of $1 billion of exports this year is the lab-grown diamond category. Now, in the lab-grown diamond category, India has the opportunity today, unlike natural diamonds, where we can control the growing of the rough, cutting and polishing of the lab-grown diamond, manufacturing jewelry out of it, and then finally exporting to retailers globally, either as your own brand or retail yourself. So this is one industry where India has the potential of being an end-to-end value addition, value creator, and capturing the entire pipeline. So further to that, and in our interactions with the Prime Minister himself and the Commerce Ministry and the Finance Ministry, the government has been extremely supportive in ensuring that this industry should be a classic example of Atmanirbhar Bharat and Made in India. So, we are in the process of finalizing a PLI scheme. There will be research and development for manufacturing the machine and the seed, which we are working very closely with IIT in India. We are also in the process of having a separate HSN code. Lab-grown board member seat was created on the council board. So from this next board onwards, there's going to be a permanent lab-grown seat. We have a lab-grown committee. We have more than 100 members now on lab-grown. They're also become an integral part of IIJS. So lab-grown has become an integrated part of GJEPC. And at the same time, we're also ensuring that natural diamond stays protected. Since Council has taken a leadership role in both these industries, we are going to ensure they both coexist, they both grow, and they don't eat into each other's share. A lot of millennials have joined our industry, and one of the key businesses which every youngster today in India wants to build is a direct-to-consumer, D2C as they say, business. For them to build that business, we need a robust e-commerce ecosystem. Now, we've been working on the e-commerce policy very closely with the government, and the FM announced it in the budget this year. The e-commerce policy came out last month. As we go along, it's only going to get better and stronger and easier, and this will really help our next gen to build D2C businesses where they can be manufacturing or trading in jewelry in any place in the country today, and could be shipping to nearly 200 countries globally in a very cost-effective way. They could be shipping through marketplaces, they could be shipping directly to the consumer. This e-commerce policy is going to transform our industry in the next few years. So SEZs, the first policy came when there was Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, and that happened in 91. And now we are in 22, and in all these years we've not really had a version 2.0 of the SEZ Act. Now finally that has happened, the Desh Bill as it's called, and it's in Parliament right now. It should become an act in the next few months to come. This will completely transform the SEZs as we know them. They will become, it's basically 3 E's, economic, employment, enclaves. And the dream of the Prime Minister is to make sure that these 500 SEZs that we have in the country today, which are 500 out of the 5,000 globally, become huge manufacturing centers, not only for MNCs, large Indian companies, but many even MSMEs. And this will really help because land will be at a reasonable rate, electricity will be at a reasonable rate, you'll get labor at a very cost-effective rate. They're all very strategically located across the country, and you'll also be able to export and sell domestically through the same factory. So this is really going to transform the SEZs as we know them. Further to the Desh Bill, we were fortunate to get the Commerce Minister and the Commerce Secretary and our Under Secretary, Joint Secretaries to our SEZ in Mumbai. And when they visited, they were very, I would say, generous and appreciative of our idea of rebooting the entire SEZ. So we have a budget of close to 200 crores to renovate the whole of SEEPs, and that will really help in us becoming a global world-class infrastructure. Besides that, the Commerce Minister has also approved a mega CFC. So there's a budget of close to 70 crores to build a mega CFC. Now, mega CFC will typically work where every large unit obviously has access to the best tech in the world, but there are hundreds of units who are not having access to very higher end 3D printers or 3D refining processes, or processes like I would say CNC, platinum casting. There are various very higher end processes which cost a lot in tech. This mega CFC will make sure that technology and cutting edge innovation is available to all our MSMEs, all at a very cost effective rate. This will make sure that the entire industry gets uplifted in making quality which is globally acceptable, designs which are with cutting edge tech, and will also make sure that in this particular field, India takes a leadership position compared to any other manufacturing center in the world. So India and UAE strategically have always been very close partners. Our exports, $10 billion are routed through Dubai. Dubai is also a huge hub for importing rough diamonds, because a lot of roughs through Antwerp or even Russia or Africa come to India via Dubai. This CEPA agreement will make sure that it gets cemented further. What we are seeing, at least as Council, and Council for the first time has started an office overseas, so very proud to announce that, and the office opening should happen in September, October. But IJEPC, the center that we've built, will be a large, it's going to be like the special notified zones or a large business center where our exporter can go to Dubai with his goods, keep the goods in the office over there for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, or as he chooses, and can call customers there. So without having the overhead of an office in Dubai, he can explore the export opportunities which the whole GCC and Africa region offer to him. So CEPA agreement will be very instrumental in increasing the number of exporters which are exporting to that region, and will also help us to get into Africa in a big way, which is, say, the next new continent which is emerging as a large market for gems and jewelry. As a strategic move, one of the things which Council as its prime role is to increase exports out of India. For increasing exports out of India, we need to do two things. One is increase the number of exporters out of India, and secondly, make sure that more clusters across the country get created for gems and jewelry. As I would say, to further that goal, what we've done is, firstly, we now have the first international show which we did in Jaipur, which was an international customers show only. We definitely will be continuing this edition, and like any show in the next few years, it will only get stronger and better in the years to come. Secondly, what we've done is, we've made sure now there are 3 IIHSs. So there's a Akshaya Tritiya IIHS, there's Signature and Premier. There'll be 3 IIHS which cover the broad spectrum of everything that a domestic manufacturer would need to run his factory for 12 months. These 3 shows will make sure that the exporters that we have, and if you've come to the August IIHS, they've become, we had close to 50,000 visitors, 2,000 exhibitors. They're probably, IIHS has now become one of the largest shows in the world. And we are sure that with the exposure that the domestic manufacturer is getting in these shows, they will get encouraged to become an exporter, which is what Council's role is. So IIHS, we have 3 IIHSs, we have an international show in Jaipur for the first time, and we'll also be doing various buyer-seller meets in geographies across the world. So we'll be doing we just completed the New York Diamond Week, which went off very successfully, because for the first time we had gemstones in New York. We're going to be doing a Dubai edition. We are planning to do something in Australia. So there's going to be a flurry of activity on the international shows. And of course, IIHS is going to continue to be the best and biggest show in the country. India has always been known as a low-cost manufacturing center, and I would say the last couple of decades, we've been extremely successful at building brand India globally as a low-cost center. But the future, like in any industry today, it belongs to design and tech. So furthering the design dream, councils become very aggressive on recognizing and ensuring that design talent across the country is nurtured, encouraged, could be made into entrepreneurs, and then eventually exporters, because that's where the value addition for the country is going to come from. To further those goals, we've made sure that artisan awards today have become bigger and I would say much more recognized globally. We get more than 500 applicants from various countries in the world, and this is ensuring that design talent is encouraged, and we are seeing new and new designers coming into the fray every year, and even the bar on manufacturing those designs is getting higher. So we're doing design awards. We've obviously on the CSR front, council continues to stay extremely active, because that's again one of our roles, to make sure that we're doing enough for the craftsmen, artisans who come into this industry and build their futures. Because one of the challenges we had seen is that we were losing the next generation of this artisan and a craft which has been passed over generations to other industries. So to make sure that artisans stay in this industry, we are ensuring through our IIGJs that they get proper education. There is reskilling happening. We are doing, we ensured at least in the COVID period that everyone got money in their pocket every month. So through all the various activities, we are ensuring that our craftsmen stay protected. They make the incomes that they are able to make in other industries, and design talent is also encouraged. My vision for the Indian gems and jewelry industry is to be a $100 billion industry in the years to come. It should be known as the gems and jewelry capital of the world. Today, when you think of cheese, you're thinking Switzerland. When you're thinking of wine, you're thinking France. So India should be known for gems and jewelry. I think that's our true opportunity. And it should be not only known for low cost, but it should be known for the finest design, the finest tech, the finest craftsmanship, and entrepreneurs and business people that they can rely on, depend upon, trust upon. I think that's my long term dream for our country at large.